All right, so I want to talk to you about how we program our power and our speed segment of our workout here at Mike Buller Strength and Conditioning. To give you an idea of where we are in the flow of the workout, the athlete would have already done foam rolling, active mobility, movement prep, and an active warm-up before we got here. So we'd probably be about 15 minutes into the workout before we get into our plyometric, medicine ball, and speed progression. Megan is going to be my athlete. She's going to demonstrate as I go through and kind of explain how we put these things together. So when we get into this segment after our active warm-up, the first thing we get into is our light implement power section, and that's going to be some sort of plyometric exercise paired with a medicine ball drill. We're always going to do them in a pairing or a triset where we put some sort of plyometric exercise with a medicine ball exercise, right? And so for instance, today, Megan is going to do a single leg hurdle hop with a mini bounce, right? We're going to do a mini bounce. This would be about phase 2 of our athlete program. So in the phase 1, she would be sticking the landing. Phase 2, we're going to move to this light mini bounce on the leg. We want to try to work on lower leg and ankle stiffness, working on elasticity. Then she's going to go right over to our medicine ball drill. Megan, what medicine ball drill are we going to do? We're going to do overhead throw? Yeah. Stepping overhead throw. So this would be our phase 2, back up a little bit. Okay, this would be phase 2 of our medicine ball progression here. She's going to step hard towards the wall, throw, snap it down. I want to see her get tall, snap that medicine ball towards the wall as hard as she can. Typically, we're going to program about 5 reps on each side. Our plyometrics and our medicine balls, our repetitions are going to stay relatively low because we want to prioritize power output and not push them towards fatigue. So she would typically go through this pairing 3 rounds. She'd get 5 hops each side, 5 throws each side, 3 times through. From there, once the athletes get through that segment, we get out to our speed development. This is going to be the last thing that we do before we hit the weight room and start doing things like hang cleans and our traditional strength training. We're going to get into our time sprint. So we're out here at our time sprint setup here. We have our timers set up. We have our scoreboard up there so athletes can see their times. And we do time sprints 2 days a week with all of our athletes. The value of doing time sprints is that it gives definite feedback to the athlete. It gives them, quantitative feedback. It tells them how fast they're actually running. It also creates a competitive environment where these athletes compete with one another. One thing that we've learned over the last 5 years or so is that if you want your athletes to run fast, you have to time them. It's the only way to ensure that we get 100% effort and allows us to track their progress, right? So Megan is going to do a 10-yard split. We only measure 10 yards, so the distance between those 2 timers is 10 yards apart. And we're going to always do a flying sprint. In phase 1, we start with like a 5-yard flying at that first cone. And then as the weeks go by, we add about 5 yards every week to our progression. You can see Megan is about 10 yards out here. She's going to get 10-yard build up as fast as she can. She's going to go through the last timer, and then her score is going to be put up on the scoreboard. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Take off. Push, 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 all the way through the timer, all the way through. And we got a 1-3-3, a 1-3-3 split. So as the coach, I would write down their fastest time of the day, and then we can track their progress from each progressive flying distance over the time that they're training with us, right? So as they're with us, their slower time is going to be from the 5, then obviously they get to the 10, it's going to be a little faster, 15, 20. We're going to progressively increase both their speed, their velocity, as well as their volume. So we get a natural overload effect over time. Starting with a short flying, like a 5-yard flying, helps get the athlete accommodated to full speed sprinting if they haven't been doing this in their training. So it allows us to avoid things like hip flexor strains, hamstring strains, any of those little things that can build up. But over time, they're going to be moving all the way to a 20-yard flying, so their velocity is going to get much faster, and we're going to get an overload effect with their nervous system, most importantly, to help them get faster. From here, we would be going into the weight room to start our heavy implement power and our strength training. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at coachkevincarr@gmail.com, and see you next time.